When collecting basketball cards, the less of them printed, the better. But of course, the rarest cards are the ones where there's only one print in existence. Pulling a one of one is so unique, so shocking, so special that collectors can't help but scream, bang. Just like those cards, there are NBA players that are so unique, so rare, so special. Manu, the 7 seconds or less Suns, Jokic, Yao, Linsanity, they all deserve that one of one bang.
Curry, way downtown, bang! Bang!
Or do they? Everybody loves the story of an underdog, and no one, not one person, plays the part better than Jimmy Butler. Since birth, Jimmy has gotten the shorter end of the stick, but that hasn't stopped him from shooting for the stars like a madman obsessed. And I mean obsessed. Jimmy has worked tooth and nail to climb the NBA ladder. We all know about Big Face Coffee, $100 a cup. Playoff Jimmy turns it on like a switch. But is he a one of one?
Larry, are you a different player in the regular season than you are in the finals, in the semis, playoffs?
I notice when it's an Ateneo LaSalle game, there's a switch that turns on automatically. I don't know what it is, the energy from the magnitude of the game, the crowd, the pressure, somewhat it just makes you rise to another level.
So it's an Ateneo LaSalle Larry.
Now, with Larry, you can sense it's a big game.
Uh-huh.
And visibly see it when yung nguso niya lalabas na. Pag nagsimuangot yan,
It's business.
it's business. It's business. That's when, we call him the Sungit Larry. If we have the Sungit Larry, we have the playoff Jimmy.
Oh, nice one. Because I was going to ask you if you've ever heard of the playoff Jimmy, and what can you say about playoff Jimmy?
It's different. He's different. It's like he needs that challenge. He wants that chance to raise to the next level. It's like he plays the regular season just so they can get to the playoffs, and then once the playoffs start, okay, this is
Game time.
game time for me.
Yeah.
And you can see the toughness, the competitive spirit in him. You don't talk trash against that guy. That's what he wants. He'll use any excuse to raise his level of play to the next level. Like a throwback to Kobe or Jordan, that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
It's something actually something nice to see and to watch.
I think there was a comment before the finals of the Denver-Miami where obviously a lot of the experts chose Denver. There was this one expert who said, you cannot quantify, or there are no analytics that can measure Jimmy Butler's insatiable thirst for fight.
Wow.
And you just could see that against Milwaukee, New York, and Boston. They were, you could say, really the underdogs, but come when he took the floor, it seems that his aura of intimidating the opponents and bringing his team to victory was, how can you measure that analytically?
Do all players have this switch that only comes out at certain times?
Not all players have that switch.
You have that switch?
I have Nintendo Switch. But some players would think they have that switch and pretend to have that switch, like Grant Williams, for example. But you've got to be really tough to be able to talk trash to a Jimmy Butler and be able to, back your words up. If you want to call a timeout, like an Al Horford, you know. Be ready for a Jimmy Butler comeback, you know. You better back up your antics with action because that's what Jimmy does. And I think one of the best things that the Denver Nuggets did was no one tried to antagonize or
Poke
trash
the
talk.
bear.
Poke the bear.
No one tried to poke the bear, right? You don't do that against Jimmy Butler. Don't give him any reason to get to that next level.
Don't you love how he's so respected in that regard? You know what's coming to you if you do something.
I think it's not respect. I think it's fear.
Oh.
Fear.
I think it's fear.
There's a thin line between respect and fear.
Yes. And some people would love to be respected. I think Jimmy Butler would love to be feared.
Pero hindi siya pa-star, di ba? Or
Well,
would you say?
what do you mean pastar?
Kasi nagpapasikat ba siya? Is he like a diva?
Was he a diva in Minnesota?
Well, I don't know if you'd characterize him. He has a different personality. I don't know if you can say that he's a diva with his personality. But I think his personality also what makes him unique. He's got certain attitude that you could say can be described like some of the greats, like a Mamba mentality of Kobe, you know, that rough side of Jordan, for example, with his teammates. And you could see it even in the way he plays. He's not afraid of anyone. He's not afraid of his teammates, not afraid of his coach, he's not afraid of a Grant Williams, right? I mean, he's got an edge with him. So I don't know if that's diva-like, but it certainly makes him a unique player.
I don't know if you read Boss MVP's recent interview where he said he does not relish being the quote-unquote bad guy of the company, but someone's got to critic and say sometimes the painful stuff.
Someone's got to do the dirty work.
Okay, in the bad guy in his own words.
Okay.
To really keep the standard of the company high and hold people accountable. And I think that's what Jimmy Butler does. And it was taken the wrong way in Minnesota, probably in Chicago also, but it's been embraced fully by the Miami Heat culture.
You know, Ricky, you mentioned something about Jimmy Butler being a diva. Okay? I think there's an incident before that, people sort of question that is Jimmy Butler a diva? Larry knows the details. Larry, can you please tell us what happened there in Minnesota?
Were you in the room when it happened?
I think everyone knew what happened back then. Had an idea of how Jimmy Butler, challenged everyone and, was dissatisfied with what was happening. And for him, I'm sure he's going to say that he just wanted to raise the level of the players, wanted them to want it more, wanted them to be accountable of winning, and probably did it in a way that was abrasive, insensitive, and disrespectful. So everyone could say, that he was a diva for doing that. But I'm sure that he's gonna have other ideas.
And it's hard because he got a lot of criticisms for that. People are calling him a diva. But it's hard to, when you are in practice and you're part of the starting five, you shouldn't lose to the second unit or even the third stringers. You shouldn't lose. But for Jimmy Butler to team up with the third stringers and beat the starters, that's an insult to the starting five, to the starters. But also, the third stringers, I'm sure, felt great, So I think that's two sides to the coin of a Jimmy Butler. He can rub people off the wrong way, or he can inspire other people, to step up their game and raise their level of play to the next level.
Yeah.
And I think with what Larry mentioned about the Heat, being a good destination for Jimmy Butler, I think their culture is able to withstand the two sides of Jimmy Butler. You know, we've had instances where we've seen Coach Poe get into an argument with Jimmy Butler, but then after that, it seems like they're okay,
Yeah.
right? So that's what you get with Jimmy Butler. The two sides to a coin of Jimmy Butler: the good or the bad.
Let's break down Jimmy Butler's game and find out why he's so appealing and so enthralling to watch. Okay, so what are his strengths as a basketball player?
Well, I think, when you talk about Jimmy Butler and the way he scores, he's kind of an old school guy in that sense. He can shoot threes, but he doesn't shoot a lot. That's not his first option. He's an old school guy, gets to the paint, finishes, gets fouled. He shoots a lot of free throws in a game. Just a throwback to the old school basketball, If you look at how he plays defense, okay, he's one of the league leaders in steals, always up there. He's not afraid to guard the best player on the opposing team. Also a great team player, passes the ball well, gets a lot of assists, rebounds the ball too. It's like Jimmy Butler can do a lot of things across the board, but it's like he is not a specialist in that sense, which some people do not like, but
Frown
I
upon.
would I love that. I love that with him.
Yes. And for me to sum up what you said, I think it's his game management mastery that stands out for me, because he can do everything. He's not a
Yeah.
specialist, and he understands the game and he feels the game so well that sometimes his points are sacrificed, but his defense, his rebounding, his involving his teammates in order to win, stand out more than the criticism of other people for his quote-unquote inconsistency and lack of pure shooting. I think that's what stands out the most. And he thinks the game, he doesn't
Oh.
force anything, and he doesn't choose option one, the three-point shot. And he's not modern in that sense, but he really gets the job done.
Yeah. See, Tom Thibodeau nga was saying before na even if he put Jimmy Butler in the 4 spot, like he could still pull it off. And that's the kind of player nga that he is. He's smart.
He's really smart.
He's a very smart player. And I like how he stays true to himself. When he goes for games on the road, especially this playoff season, he's bringing his coffee maker with him, his coffee machine, no matter how bulky it is, and he's just, he's going at it. But yeah, those are one of the things I think that make him who he is.
And I think his personality is what helps him. Like you said, he can play the 4 spot, 3-2-1, because he's tough.
Yeah.
He's not gonna back down against anybody. He's a competitor, and he'll find ways to win, whether it be getting to the foul line or going for a backdoor layup,
Yeah.
or hitting a 3-pointer, or making a defensive stop. He's tough. He's a competitor. He wants to win, and he's ready to do whatever it takes for him to win.
When it comes to managing and coaching a player like Jimmy Butler, who do you think had a bigger impact on him? You think it was Tom Thibodeau, or do you think it was Eric Spoelstra?
I would go with Coach Poe. Mainly because I think, take a look a little bit back at Jimmy Butler's history. Had that run-in with Minnesota. Okay, so Minnesota didn't want him anymore. Good riddance, Jimmy Butler. Lands in Philadelphia. Okay? If Philadelphia wanted him, they would have paid him to stay. Instead, they paid Tobias Harris to stay over Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, even though publicly said he didn't want to go to the Heat wanted to get him. Okay? So imagine that. This guy said, I don't want to go there. And then that same team gets him. And that coach, Coach Poe, coached this temperamental star player. And videos, you could see that two clashing, fighting, arguing. I think Spo was able to stand toe-to-toe with Jimmy Butler, address the bad side of Jimmy, but at the same time allowed him to be himself. And what's the result? Jimmy Butler, we saw, was able to do the same thing in Miami. So I think Coach Spo definitely, I'd go with Coach Spo over that.
You think Eric Spoelstra was trying to change Jimmy Butler, or he was just trying to work with the whole package?
I don't think you change the Jimmy Butler.
Great question.
I don't think you change the Jimmy Butler. You accept him for who he is, but at the same time, I think Jimmy Butler had to accept Coach Spo for who he is too.
Yeah.
So there was a compromise there, definitely. And the mere fact that they kept on winning showed that they're able to hash things out.
Yeah.
I think it had to be
Work well together.
Yeah, I think it had to be mutual as well. I mean, you will allow Jimmy Butler to be himself, to play the way he is, but he also needed to respect Heat culture. That's not just a normal organization where you act like a diva and do what you want. That's Pat Riley, the godfather there, Eric Spoelstra right there. So, great for him to humble himself too. Now, you can be yourself, but you will be accountable for your actions, and you will buy into the team.
We're gonna test just how well you both know Jimmy Butler. So I have a series of questions here. You're gonna try your best to give me the correct answer. Question number 1.
I'm afraid of tests.
Jimmy Butler was traded in 2017 by the Bulls to Minnesota.
Minnesota. Oh,
One
Bye-bye.
of the 3 players they got was Chris Dunn. Who are the other 2 players the Bulls received? Clue. One made the Western Conference All-Star team in 2023. The other one is still in Chicago, and he's a dunk contest winner. Name the 2.
Zach LaVine and Gorgie Dieng.
Nice guess.
I got Zach LaVine. Western Conference Finals.
Don't even try.
Not Gorgie Dieng. Wait.
My gosh. Shot clock violation, man.
Okay.
rules.
I'll just go with Zach LaVine. I don't know who the other guy is.
You got one correct. Zach LaVine is correct. The other one is Lowry Markkanen.
Oh my God.
Lowry
Correct.
Lowry
Draft pick.
Lowry
Draft pick.
Markkanen.
Lowry Markkanen.
The draft
Yes.
pick.
The cousin of Kyle.
Yes.
Which of these players has never been teammates with Jimmy Butler? Is it A, Dwayne Wade, B, Derrick Rose, C, Darren Williams, D, Rip Hamilton?
D. Rip Hamilton.
And 2 players nga eh.
One lang.
What? 2 for 1.
A, Dwayne Wade, B, Derrick Rose, C, Darren Williams, D, Rip Hamilton.
D Will.
The correct answer is D, Will. He played with Rip, remember, when he was masked up?
Oh, my bad.
You call yourself a history teacher?
Yes.
All right. Let's go nicknames.
Okay.
Which of the following is not a Jimmy Butler nickname? Is it A, Himmy, B, Jimmy G Buckets, C, Playoff Jimmy, or D, Cowboy Jimmy B?
D.
Cowboy Jimmy B?
Cowboy Jimmy B.
It's supposed to be Jimmy F. Buckets.
Just answer A, B, C, or D.
I'll go with D. I'll copy the answer.
Cowboy Jimmy B. Congratulations. The athlete way is working for you. D is correct.
Copying ways continue.
Good job. All right, last question, guys. Jimmy Butler currently ranks 3rd all-time in Miami Heat history in playoff points. Who are the 2 ahead of him?
Dwayne Wade. And LeBron James.
It's Dwayne Wade and
Alonzo Mourning.
Whoa.
Know your history, baby. Who's the history teacher now? School you, professor.
Larry.
Oh, shoot.
You're wrong. It is LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. Number 2 and 1.
Alonzo Mourning's been long.
Number 2 and 1 in that order. LeBron James, Dwayne Wade.
On.
Who's the history teacher again now?
Is this the best that he's been with this Heat squad, you think? Yeah.
I think it is. It's
Yeah.
the best squad, and it's just a shame that they always fall short. You've always hoped that, Tyler Hero would be healthy enough. So you could see that they would compete in the finals with a complete lineup, no injuries whatsoever, to really see, to gauge how far this Miami Heat team can go and how far Jimmy Butler can take this team.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? What's exciting for me is so he's led the team twice to the finals. Fell short both times. But of course, they overachieved. Miami Heat overachieved. Getting to the finals is a big feat already for them. But it's like they lack something or someone.
Right.
Maybe they're a superstar away. Maybe.
I would say they are a healthy season away from winning a championship. I think they have always had enough. That's what they always say in the press room. We have enough, more than enough. Even when we think that, no, you lack a superstar. They've proven. Just the injury bug has just hit them at the worst time in the season.
Larry, as somebody who's followed Jimmy Butler's career from the start, where is his hard work at? Where is his talent at? And why is it working for him?
Well, obviously the talent and the hard work, you combine that, it's going to be a winning recipe. And you will never be in the Miami Heat if you do not have those two things. I think what separates him is really his drive. You talk about his team being decimated by injuries. He's playing on one good leg, and he's defeating the number 1 seed, the number 2 seed, and he's pushing the Denver Nuggets, giving them a really hard time. I think it's not about talent or hard work anymore. It's really that kind of drive that, I don't know, it cannot be taught. I don't know how you train that, but he just has it, and everyone else feeds off of that.
What's funny when you mention Jimmy Butler, a lot of people would say he's got that Mamba mentality, or even a joke about him being the son of Jordan, Is he like Kobe or Jordan in that regard? I don't think so. I think Jimmy Butler wakes up, 4 a.m., works out, that time, just like Kobe Bryant. And they're both talented and they both work hard, just like Michael Jordan. But he's not at the same level. But the mere fact that people are talking about Jimmy Butler and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant in that same
Yes.
sentence,
Yes.
that says something.
Seeing Jimmy Butler now, does it bother you that he's still ringless? Does it matter that he's still ringless?
Personally, I think it doesn't because of the feats that he's accomplished. And I personally felt that if they had a healthy lineup, they would have gotten at least one championship already. So I think the Heat have enough. I think Jimmy has done more than enough to tow the franchise to winning a championship. So I don't think it does anything to his legacy.
Didn't matter to me that Jimmy Butler and the Heat did not win the last championship. It's okay because I liked Denver and Nikola Jokic. So it did not bother me at all. But when you talk about Jimmy Butler, I think his competitiveness, it's just right that he wins a championship.
Right.
So, and I think he needs that. So, I think he needs that to put him in the upper echelon of superstars. If he doesn't get that, he'll still be recognized as one of the greats, but.
But it's not his fault. Like I said, he's done everything. they can't land another missing piece, or they're getting injured. So what else can he do?
Yeah, but you know, Jimmy Butler, he's not gonna accept that reason.
I'm sure he wants one of those.
He wants one of those.
I think Jimmy Buckets is a one of one because of the tremendous leadership that he's displayed in all the teams that he's been with. And I think it's just his feistiness and his unique sense of self that'll make him a formidable force in the years to come in the NBA.
I agree. I think it's a combination of everything. The way he plays, his playing style on offense, playing style on defense, his personality.
You can't really put one, like a finger on it,
You
no?
can. It's a combination of everything for me. His toughness.
How he gets his teammates to work.
How he elevates his teammates to the next level. His work ethic. His entrepreneurial skills.
Spell it.
His business.
His
in
business.
coffee business in the bubble. Okay? BUSINESS. Okay? He's unique. And he's fascinating to watch and observe as the years go by. And what's next for Jimmy Butler? We don't know, and that's what makes him exciting.
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler is a one of one because there's only one Achilles of Troy. My brothers, do you see what's out there waiting beyond that beach? Immortality, take it, it's yours. And then he goes destroying everyone. Taking the city down. Unfortunately, Nikola Jokic hits his Achilles and he dies out there on the porch. But he's forever etched in the hallways of legends.
You're in the wrong industry, Larry. You're in the wrong industry.
Great acting.